8, 21, 22, 65, 69, and the Powerball was 26. I'm Chris Coraggio, NBC News Radio.
You're listening to the Inland Talk Express, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, KCAA Loma Linda.
To keep the energy going. Welcome back, everybody. You guys are listening to Whatever Works. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
My co-host. And tonight is going to be a little different. I know we weren't here last week. We did a rerun, thanks to Joe. But today we don't have a guest, and it's just going to be me and Kyle tonight and Joe in the boardroom as he leaves right now. Great, that's fantastic. He said, nah, screw this. Anywho, go ahead, Kyle, give us a shout out to our sponsors.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And our man Secondhand Sam up at Second Chance Thrift Store on Yucaipa Boulevard and 2nd Street.
Yes, go check them out, guys.
Check them out.
Be supportive. Help the community. And honestly, listen to SNJ Radio because he doesn't play just like one type of like genre of music. He plays all types, mixes it up, and you get to hear me and Kyle on there giving, positive quotes of the day.
Positive quotes of the day, positive messages.
Yes,
check it out.
Yep. And honestly, we haven't done that in a while, so we got to get back on that. So tonight's going to be a little different. We don't have a guest tonight. It was going to be DJ EJ. I met him at Top Dog over in Yucaipa. He DJs there Sunday nights. We do a little karaoke. He helps me out a little bit when I try to do a song. He jumps in. But everyone in California has been working. Well, everyone in the United States, to be honest, have been working so hard. We all been grinding. We're all exhausted. But the day is still going. We still got moves to make. And I hope you guys are driving home right now. Winding down from work. I hope everyone's being safe, enjoying this weather. So just stay tuned. We're going to be just talking about a couple things. We're going to catch up since it's been 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, so we're going to see what we've been up to. I haven't talked to Kyle since then, so I'm really excited. And then we're going to be getting a little deep in my psychology and my philosophies. Just because I'm going through a change. I've been going through a change recently in the past, I want to say the past month. So it might be interesting to you guys. If not, hey, it's okay. Yeah. So let's catch up. Kyle, what have you been up to the past 2 weeks, dude?
Well, I got a third job.
A third job. See,
job, yeah.
You know what they say in California? You got to have 2 jobs and a side hustle.
Yeah, well, my side hustle's been with me longer than my 2 jobs. So
let's talk about it. What are your jobs? What do you do?
So I'm actually a slot machine technician for Yamava. Used to be called San Manuel, but now it's Yamava.
Yeah, change it up.
Yeah, I had to change it up. Really nice. They built onto the casino hotel.
That's over in San Bernardino, right? North side?
Yeah, north side in Highland. Technically in Highland.
Okay.
So there's a resort and there's a hotel there now. Really nice. Super good food there. Awesome vibes. Check it out. My other job is I'm now a dishwasher for our corgis in Yucaipa.
I used to work there.
Yep, he used to work there. And I was tripping the manager out of how many people I knew that worked there.
Oh, really? You know a lot of people that work there?
Yeah. I've known Sierra for a long time, and,
And obviously Andrew and everybody. Yeah. Shout out to them. They throw some really nice parties.
They do.
I always get invited. And, I always show up late, and I feel so bad. It's because, they send out the invitations like a month and a half ahead of time.
And then you forget.
And then they call you like, hey, like, you're supposed to be here. Like, oh, no, bro, I'm on my way,
Yeah.
So shout out to them. They just had, like, their 1-year anniversary together.
I know, yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. I'm proud of them. So that's 2. What's your third job? Is it this?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Dang. How do you like being on the radio? First of all,
I love it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a change of pace. From other stuff. Just knowing that you can contribute and do things like outside of your own range is just amazing to me.
Yeah. Someone asked me one time. Like we've had important people on the show. Like the San Bernardino School District. We had doctors. We had CEOs, all that good stuff. But typically, for the most part, our guests are like, local people or people that are not known yet, but
Yeah.
are making their way up, right?
Definitely.
And someone asked me one time, and they were like, "Oh, why don't you interview famous people?" Right? And honestly, I get it, right? Because we're on a
Yeah.
radio show, you want famous people to be on it, you
Yeah.
get more publicity. But for the reason for this show is not to help famous people get more famous,
No.
but to help the people who are not there yet get there.
Yeah.
You know? Like literally, like that's why I'm doing this show. It's not for me.
It's not for either of us.
Yeah, it's not for you. I mean, you can put that on your resume. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
But it's not like we go around talking about the show, talking about us.
Yeah.
Each week we bring in a different guest, a different topic, and we usually talk about their business. We talk about their philosophies. We talk about their energy, everything. And it's not about helping the people that are already up. It's helping the people that are trying to get up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And like it's one thing to help someone up who doesn't even want help. Okay, first of all, I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess it's good, right? Because sometimes people don't know what they want, but other people see what they need. And some people do need a hand,
Yeah.
even if they don't ask for it. But I really respect the people who are trying, who are not there, but who are trying, who are consistent, and who are just, trying to become something. I will help you out because I'm in that same position,
Yeah, we both are. Yeah.
Yeah, and like just because we're on the radio doesn't mean we're automatically successful. Like you have 3 jobs. I have 3 jobs. Like we're in spots where it's like people perceive us in a certain way, but in reality we're just still trying to make it.
Yeah, we're just like y'all. Yeah.
And one of the topics that I wanted to talk about tonight is about selfishness, right?
This is gonna be good.
And doing this show right here is selfless because as I just explained, like we're not doing it for us. We're trying to help other people grow. We're trying to help other people get their voices heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people we met, amazing people who have positive energy, important things to say, but because they're not famous, they can't get that word out.
Right.
But their message is just as important as some famous person that, is already out there.
And we interviewed some people who are doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. And honestly, if you guys ever want to go back, like we have a Instagram page.
We do.
Yep. KCAA, whatever works.
KCAA, whatever works.
Yeah. We uploaded a couple videos, Escaping the Cult. That's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
We had Rico Russ, right?
Rax.
There you go. My apologies. Rico Rax. He's an artist. We have him on there, just short little clips. We are building the page, but if you guys want to support us, come check us out, follow us. Also, if you guys want to hear other stories, you guys can always go back on Spotify, look up KCAA, whatever works, and it has, bro, I don't even know how many shows we've done.
All of them.
Yeah.
It's had all of them, even before me.
Yeah, I had one other co-host before Kyle, but Kyle has been here the longest, and that says something, right?
That's gonna be a year in a couple weeks, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this week we're supposed to have a DJ come in, but he's been booked, he's been exhausted, and you know what? I was like, hey, bro, don't even worry about it, And then who do we have next week? We have
a band, Average Joe and the Benchwarmers.
There you
So
go.
they're gonna come on,
And
talk about. They have a show coming around Halloweenish time. They want to promote. They're gonna talk about their music, chop it up.
Well, that's perfect then, right? And that's
Yeah.
next week.
That's next week.
And the week after, we have some friends of ours.
We have some friends of ours that started a YouTube podcast.
Yep. And we can't say the name
We can't
because
say the name on the radio.
yeah,
But
because it's inappropriate. The name's inappropriate, but I'm sure once we have them on, you guys would love to listen to them. They're hilarious. They're geniuses. Like Harrison, he had what, like a 4.8 GPA, and
very
like
intelligent guy.
yeah, he's in physics. You know, I think he's getting his bachelor's in like physics, science, or
Yeah.
aerospace physics or something like that.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous. Anyways, walking brain. And then Trevor, of course, his co-host, who is just a natural genius. You know what I mean? So they have a bunch of interesting, funny stories. We all grew up together.
Yeah.
It's really great. So the next couple weeks is going to be pretty interesting. So I hope you guys stay tuned. But, all right, so going back, selfishness. Okay, this is a big topic. You can take things many different ways, but this is something that I've kind of been working on myself. Only because my life it's been on like rapid fire. You know, it's going crazy. There's so many things, like so many doors that have opened up. Yesterday, I DJ'd at Quinceañera, you know what I mean? Over at the Renaissance Esmeralda Indian Wells. That was definitely an experience. If we have enough time, we'll talk about that. You know, I had this radio show. I got my real estate license. I caregive. So there's a bunch of things that I've been doing, a bunch of things that Kyle's been doing. So our lives are kind of been running on the high mile here. And I don't even drink coffee, but I started to. Only because I need it. You know what I mean? So that's actually what we're drinking right now. Yeah. It's a Sunday night, and we're trying to drink a bunch of coffee to stay up and, you know, stay energized during the show. So selfishness. The reason why I want to bring this up is because it's so important to not be selfish, right?
Man, yeah.
So every time, and this is personal to me. So if anyone, like, don't take this personal. This is just my perspective, my philosophies. So if you hate me, hey, call in, let me know. If you love me, call in. 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. So every time you speak about your next goal and you don't give it your all and you fail to pull it off, it's because you're selfish, right? People live around your results and your expectations. Okay, so I had my real estate license for about 9 to 10 months now, right? And my results, I'm not going to lie to you guys, are kind of slow. A lot of people have higher expectations of me, more expectations than I have for myself, right? But if I'm really trying to, you know, just show everyone what they believe in, because everyone around me believes in me. So I have to show them that they can, and they can believe in me, and they can believe in themselves, right? I am the motivator, I am the speaker, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to motivate each other and bring each other to success, right? Because that's what the show's about. We're helping smaller businesses. We're helping each other get our voices out there, bring each other up so everyone can be successful, right? If you fail to lose weight when you said you're going to drop some pounds, fail to quit smoking when you said you're going to stop, fail to stop drinking, it's because you're selfish and you choose you and your temptations over everything you told what you're going to be and what you're going to do. And you supposedly love the people around you, but being selfish, you are choosing you over your loved ones. You don't love them as much as you think you do. The fact is, you love your snacks, you love your high, you love your drinks, you love your laziness. And that is something that I have been reflecting upon myself recently. And it's crazy because, okay, so I turned 23 September 2nd, early this month. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, it's last month because it's October now. By the way, Halloween season, spooky season, woo, get excited. Usually I don't take my birthdays as a big deal because I'm blessed beyond than I can ever ask for, right? So
yeah,
like every day is a blessing. Every day I'm so grateful. So when it comes to my birthday, it's nothing really special because I'm already grateful for every day, you know? But for whatever reason, turning 23, it was like a game changer. It smacked me in the face because I looked back at like what I've done in my life, right? And I'm not going through like a midlife crisis or anything.
It's too early for that.
Yes, but I realized that like smoking weed that is one of the things that I've done most consistently in my life than almost anything else, right? Like, yeah, I go to the gym, I work out, but like I have times where like I take a month or two off, you know what I mean? Because like life just like
Yeah.
life is just tough sometimes, you know? But smoking weed was almost every single day,
Yeah.
multiple times a day. And I looked back and was like, I've been doing this for 9 years. The number one thing that I've done most consistently in. And smoking to me is disrespectful to myself, damaging my lungs, damaging my frontal cortex, because they say like you're not fully grown or developed until like you're 25, right?
Yeah.
So smoking at a younger age is not good. I'm not saying smoking is bad maybe when you're older and depending on how much you smoke, or just, you know, if you don't abuse it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been doing this for so long, and I can really see that I was disrespecting myself by damaging my body, disrespecting my family because they don't want me to smoke, and most importantly, like disrespecting God, because that was not God's intentions, right? And I've been watching this video, or this guy, this channel. His name is Wes Watson. All right.
Okay.
This guy, he went to prison. He was from San Diego, went to prison for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. He came out, and now he's making millions. He stopped doing drugs. He stopped, you know, going to the strip club. He stopped all his vices, right? And it's because he's done being selfish. All that was him letting his body just do what he wants, you know?
Yeah.
The people around him want to hit him change. The people around me want me to change for the better. And me smoking all the time is just me being selfish, you know?
Okay.
So when I turned 23, I was like, I can't. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more, right? And it's funny how much it changed my perspective on things, because like when you smoke, like it kind of blocks your receptors.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a bad mood, or like for the most part, some people like, oh, if they're having a bad day, what do? They smoke a cigarette, or they grab a beer, or they smoke a bowl, right?
Yeah.
And literally what it's doing is suppressing your emotions.
Yeah.
Like that's a stress reliever, right? But actually what it's doing, it's just building up,
Yeah.
right? And after like 2-3 weeks of like not smoking, I started getting a little irritated about some like smaller things in my life, right?
Yeah.
Things, because like I would smoke on the daily and I'll just like keep
Yeah,
it
you just
going.
vibe.
Yeah, like I'll just vibe. I'll just go with the flow. Like I wouldn't care. Like so many problems would hit my way, and it's like, oh, it's okay, you know, do. But then like now it's like I'm more aware, you know, with my emotions and with my surroundings, and like and what I want to do. And I was reading this book called The Power of Now, and he's talking about being one with yourself, right? And it's like with me, I'm battling my mind with like my self-conscious,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, if you're doing that, you're literally splitting yourself in two. And when I was smoking, I would be so upset by the end of the night because I didn't get stuff done, or like I know I shouldn't be smoking. So like my conscience is telling me like, oh, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke. But it's my selfishness that continue to smoke. You know what I mean? And something that I've learned recently is like your conscience is going to lead you to success. Like why argue with yourself?
Yeah.
Like your conscience tells you what you should be doing day by day. You know, like with me and my business, you should be door knocking. You should be making cold calls. You should not be smoking. You should be eating healthy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like your body's telling you this, but then you're not doing it, and you get mad at yourself. And
Yeah.
you're at war with yourself, you know? And it's like, that's why would you want that? And I think it's just because like a lot of people not willingly, but they start to fall into these traps, these vices, and not even know it until it's too late. But again, this might be different, but it's not too late. You know, like once you acknowledge it, then you take action.
Yep.
You know, it's one
Yeah.
thing for someone to just like just go throughout their day blindly, like, quote unquote, sinning and not know. But it's worse if you're sinning and you know you're sinning and you're not doing anything about it.
Because it's not fun anymore. Right?
Well, I mean, it's not even, but you know you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
It's
no,
different.
exactly.
It's different if you don't know that you're doing wrong and you just continue your day. But if you know that you're doing wrong and you're constantly just doing it regardless, like, that's where it becomes a problem.
Right. Yeah.
So one thing that Wes Watson was explaining, it's almost like he's talking to me. So I'm going to just use that as reference. Like, what he's explaining to me, he says, like, your best version of yourself, right? How do you see yourself as the best version? Right? And you
Yeah.
become that. Like, my best version of me is not smoking, not vaping, not acting a fool, becoming successful,
Yeah.
you know? And so I encourage everybody out there to just reflect on where you're at now and what the best version of you is, and just get there, you know? And the best thing is to have a strategy. It's good to have a goal. It's necessary. But what's even more necessary is to have a strategy to
Yeah.
get there, you know? So,
It's not going to be easy road.
yeah, definitely not.
No.
And, you know, everyone has vices.
Yep.
And mine was smoking, you know? Mine was just being comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, right now, bro, it drives me so crazy because I live in a house with 4 boys, okay? If you think that a house with 4 dudes is a clean house, you're wrong. And it's like, I get out of the shower, and it's like, I'm allowing myself to live like this?
Yeah.
No. Like, that's not that's not what I see myself in, you know what I mean? And it just drives me crazy. But not smoking, like, I'm more active, I'm more motivated, and I'm ready to get it. You know, so Kyle, my question to you is, what is the best version of you? Like, what do you see yourself as?
My best version of myself. I definitely feel like I could give more. I do give a lot, but I feel like I can give more. I always feel like I can attain more. I've actually been asking myself for the past year, probably 2 years, that question, and I've made a lot of improvements for myself. One, I take every opportunity as I see fit. I didn't do that before. Before, I would take into account what other people thought that I should do and how it would make other people feel. I stopped doing that, you know. When I started working at my last job, I had some people holding me back on positions. And so what I did was I said, you know what? I'm just going to go for that next position. And I got it.
Hey, there you go.
And I said, you know what? I think I'm ready to be manager. Got it. And I was the youngest manager of that last company in the district.
Wow.
At 22. And so worked there for a while. And then I reached a plateau for pay. I didn't feel like I was getting treated right. Talked to some people, and they're like, hey, you know, you need to stop being comfortable in your position. And that really made me think. And so I ended up leaving that position and started back on the bottom at a new company, but I'm getting treated way better.
There you go. Put some respect on your name, huh?
Yeah, and so it was my selfishness that didn't make me pull the trigger earlier. 'Cause like for a while I was top dog. I was the manager. I had people under me. I was training. So for the while I was like, why should I go to an entry level position? It was my selfishness that kept me there for so long, and I was getting depressed. I was getting bad, you know. I just wasn't pleasant to be around for a long time. And I finally made the change, and now it's for the better, you know. I wake up, things are more clear. It feels like I can see farther.
Yeah,
You know, it's weird.
that's awesome.
And so I started losing a little bit of weight. I'm already down. I was down about 35 pounds. Gained 10 back. But
Hey, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, man.
Yeah.
Still progress, right?
recently, I stopped drinking soda at work. So I drink mainly water now, 90% of the week.
Can I cut you off real quick?
Yeah.
See, usually Sunday nights we'll go and grab a drink, play some pool, but it's funny because it's usually me drinking and him drinking water. Like we go to the bar and he has his water bottle with him. Like,
Yeah.
he's not drinking.
But
And you know what? I respect that so much.
Yeah.
Because so many people want to stop what they're doing, and if they look up to somebody, and like let's say like you look up to me, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I want to stop drinking, and I'm over here like, well then stop, But then like me wanting to stop smoking, I'm still smoking. Like how does that give you any motivation to stop? Any inspiration? You're like, why are you telling me to stop when you're over here being hypocritical and like smoking?
It's simple. And like we'll circle back and say you got to do it for yourself.
Yep. Yeah.
And like you were talking about earlier, your body is a temple. And if you focus too much on the temple, no one's going to visit.
Ooh.
So
That's pretty hard.
Yeah, right?
That's a good one. I like that.
So work on yourself, build it up, and then, allow God, allow whoever you believe in to live with you.
Yeah.
And
There's a saying, I don't think it's a really good one, but people live for pleasure over purpose.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the thing. This is where it starts to kill you. The pleasure of being comfortable, the pleasure of being selfish and just doing what you want and not caring, where is that going to lead you? Okay? Now, again, this is not anyone direct or anything like this. I'm just using this as an example, right? Imagine you're gaining weight, blah, 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 right? And then you go to the beach with your whole family, and you're the only person that has a shirt on, only because you feel guilty of your body. And rather than embracing the moment and living the happy experience life that you're supposed to with your family, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm fat. Like, I don't want to take off my shirt. Like you're not in tuned with the world, right?
Yeah.
And that's because every day, instead of getting your butt in the gym and working out, you say, nah, I'm comfortable. I'd rather not be in a state of discomfort. And I'm just, I love sweets. I'm going to eat it. I don't care. One slice ain't going to kill me, right? And then one slice turns into 2, within the week or whatever the case may be. And that's literally where people die.
Yep.
From pleasure over purpose. If your purpose was to live a life with your family and embrace happiness and give happiness and spread happiness, then you got to do the things that are going to be able to do that. Like with me, all right? So I wrote this down in my notes. Let me pull it up here. What's the best version of me? Like the 3 things that I want to be is healthy, wealthy, and selfless, right? So I already gave you guys my reason of being healthy, because when that day comes to take off your shirt, you're not subconsciously hating yourself and blocking the happiness out of the world and just in your own world, right? Wealthy. I know nothing. I know, Joe. I know money's not like, the thing in life, right?
Right.
But I would rather feel better. I would rather respect somebody more when they're able to pick up their own check or not feel guilty about being broke,
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to go out to dinner and pay for my family's dinner.
Yep.
Imagine being broke because you're choosing pleasure over purpose, just spending all your money left and right and not saving it and not becoming wealthy And then when the time comes when it's like, hey, you want to go out to eat, and you're like, I can't, I don't have any money, and then someone's like, oh, I'll pay for you, right? How does that make you feel? And when you go out to dinner, you're feeling guilty. You're not feeling the pleasure of being with the person, experiencing the good times, like enjoying the food. You know what I mean? Because when that time comes to pay, and your whole world is upside down. And when we come back, we're going to be continuing the topic of being successful, right?
Yeah.
And that's our segment. So we're going to go on a quick 5-minute break. If you guys want to leave a comment, question, or concerns, again, in 5 minutes, call in, all right?
Yeah, at 888-909.
From the Bureau of Economic Geology, this is Earth Date. In 2014, a landslide began above the Stillaguamish River in Washington. In less than 5 minutes, it had buried a rural neighborhood. 43 people died, while 8 more were carried along and lived to tell the tale. The slide dammed the river, which created a lake 2.5 miles long. As violent and frightening as landslides can be, they're a natural part of the constant erosion and reformation of the earth. Most often, erosion is a very slow process, except about 400 times a year when there's a landslide. They can creep downhill at just a few inches a day, or they can build up speed, hitting nearly 200 miles an hour. Landslides can be massive, moving many cubic miles of earth in a single event. The wind they push in front of them can strip the leaves off trees. Landslides require both gravity and water. Natural erosion, or man-made activities like a road cut, can make a slope overly steep or unstable. Too much water from rainfall, snow, or even groundwater can then weaken the internal cohesion of the soil. After that, it's just waiting for a trigger. That could be a natural tremor from an earthquake or even thunder, or it could be man-made, like vibrations from a mining operation or a train. Studies of the Washington slide have helped us better understand all these contributing factors. And as our knowledge of landslides continues to grow, hopefully we'll get better at getting out of their way. I'm Scott Tinker, and thank you for listening.
Earth Date is produced by the Bureau of Economic Geology at the University of Texas at Austin. Earth Date is researched by Julie Hennings, written by Harry Lynch, and distributed by Mark Blunt and Casey Walker. For more stories, follow us on Facebook or visit earthdate.org.
We've all heard jokes that begin with a rabbi, a priest, and a minister walk into a bar. Well, a rabbi, a minister, and a deacon actually walk into the KCAA studios every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. to host the radio program Religion on the Line. And that's no joke. Together, they offer a mixture of humor and serious conversation about things that really matter in life and how to make our lives happier and more fulfilling. They compare religious doctrine and learn from each other while bringing a unique perspective of religion to the KCAA audience. Listen every Sunday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. for Religion on the Line, the intersection of humanity and divinity, right here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listeners behind.
Hi, I'm food critic Alan Borgen, and I'm excited to tell you about Ray's Shanghai Bistro, located next to Redlands DMV on Lagonia in Redlands. Ray's Shanghai Bistro offers the largest and most delicious array of traditional and original Chinese dishes available in the Inland Empire. Some of my favorite dishes are the house-made pot stickers, the crisp pork spare ribs with garlic, their unique spicy lamb with bamboo, the sweet and tangy deep-fried orange peel beef, and the savory basil spicy shrimp, plus lots of vegetarian dishes. Whether you dine in, pick up the food, or have them cater your next party or special occasions, you will see why Ray's, spelled R-U-I'-S, Shanghai Bistro, is truly the best Chinese restaurant in the Inland Empire. Their website is raysshanghai.bistro.net. That's raysshanghai.bistro.net. R-U-I-S, shanghai.bistro.net. Happy eating. You won't be disappointed.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Ceiling fans are great, except when they begin wobbling. What causes that, and how can you fix it? First, check for dirt on the blades. Yes, even a small buildup can cause wobble. Use a sponge and household cleaner to get off the grime. Wobbling could also mean one or more of the blades are warped or cracked. Replace if necessary. If the blades look okay, check to see if they're out of alignment. You can do that by using a yardstick to measure from the upper tip of each blade to the ceiling. If the distance varies, check for loose screws where the blades are attached to their metal housings. Also, those housings sometimes get slightly bent from overzealous cleaning or whatever, and need to be gently bent back to their original position. If none of that works, you'd best head to the home center and pick up a blade balancing kit. They're only a few bucks, and if they help you solve the problem, there's no doubt you'll consider that money well spent. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Sunday. You guys are just tuning in. You guys are listening to Whatever Works on KCAA. I'm Sam Works.
Kyle Kerrigan.
And tonight we don't have a guest. We did have a guest, but everyone's just been so busy lately. You know, like hey, I get it, I understand, but we did not want to let you guys down. We actually wanted to motivate you guys and give you a little bit of inspiration. And it might hurt your feelings because, hey, the truth hurts, right? So before we went on break, we're talking about being selfish and how it affects you and your family. And me personally, like going through my selfishness experiences and Kyle going through his selfishness experiences. So we're just gonna continue talking about that. Where did we leave off? Do you know?
We went deep.
Yeah, we actually did go pretty deep. So we'll kind of just backtrack here. You know, recently, since I turned 23, I've been looking back at my life and realizing, like, how much bad I've been doing to myself and to everyone around me. But I've been trying, every day I've been trying to progress, right? I've been going to church, not forcefully, honestly, willingly, because the church that I go to is like, he's like a motivational speaker, you know what I mean? And actually, we went on a 3-week fasting like segment.
Wow.
And a lot of people, when they think of like fasting, they think of like food, right? But fasting from your vices, you know. So for me, as I said before we went on break, like my vice was like smoking weed, vaping, you know, being lazy. And then what was your vice, Kyle?
Mine was drinking like a lot of soda, sugar, stuff with sugar in
things
it.
like that.
Yeah.
So huh? Really?
Oh no.
Okay.
We can't say that.
Honestly, the guy that I talked about, Wes Watson from San Diego, that was one of his vices. Yeah. So when he came out of jail, you know it was hard for him. You know what I mean? Because like he didn't have that for 10 years. So anywho, when it comes to here's my experience. All right, I fasted for 1 full week. I did not smoke. I did not vape. All right, they call it the 3-day hump. The first 3 days are the hardest things to go through. Right after that week, I did not even desire smoking. I did not crave smoking. I mean, you know, every once in a while, yes, because I've been doing that for 9 years, and there was things that I love doing when I'm high, and that was cooking, going to the gym, you know, cleaning. But when you have to use your vices in order to do things in your life, that is some beep. I'm just kidding. That's some baby stuff, right?
Yeah.
That shows weakness. That shows that you don't have what it takes to be present in life in order to get stuff done. Like, do I really have to smoke to go hit the gym? No. Do I really have to get high in order to cook? No. But I just did it so often and so regularly that it became like part of my lifestyle. Like I enjoyed it, you know? Like you just put on some headphones, you get into your little zone and things like that. But that is pleasure over purpose, right? Because I take pleasure when I used to smoke and clean. I hated cleaning, but hey, if I got to smoke a little bit and put on some of my favorite songs, I didn't mind cleaning.
Yeah.
I cleaned the whole time. Like I didn't have a problem with that. And same thing with like going to the gym. Like I honestly, I would think I would get a better workout at the gym when I was faded, but at the same time, it's destroying my lungs, my cardio. I never did cardio. I vaguely do cardio now, but at the time, like I would just lift heavy weights, the burn, like I just got into it. But that is just over pleasure. But the purpose is different. The purpose is being healthy, right? So when I'm smoking, that's not being healthy.
Mm-mm.
My purpose is to educate myself, educate others, motivate, and inspire. I cannot be doing that when I am blocking my receptors, making myself go dumb and numb, right? And I think I don't, like right now, ever since I turned 23, I've been trying to change myself for the better even more. And I'm on a good road, but you just wake yourself up a little bit,
Yeah.
you know? Kyle, did you want to piggyback on that at all? I'm pretty passionate right now. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm talking. I'm kind of like still in the show. I
No,
don't want
you're
to do
good.
that to you. So,
Very good.
how do you feel about how you feel now?
I feel like
Because I know you've been working on yourself,
a lot, and I feel like I could always do more.
right?
And maybe it's my confidence, maybe it's my my energy, but I always feel like I'm not doing enough. If I'm ever at the gym and I'm on the stairmaster for like 5 minutes, I get off and there's like 3 seconds where I feel defeated. I'm like, I could have done more. And like I'm trying to work on that part of myself, especially like taking care of my dad. Like I always feel like I could do more, and I have people around me be like, you do a lot of stuff for your dad, and it's true, I do. But there's this part of the hump I need to get over is taking a step back and looking behind me and looking at the scenery, to see how far I've climbed.
Yeah.
And so if you're focused on climbing the mountain and not looking back, then what have you accomplished,
Right.
So just looking back at your like achievements, just like small stuff too, like I made my bed, I did my laundry.
Hey, that's a win.
That's a win. And so just getting up, getting in the mirror, saying that you love yourself, you love your family. Every morning, even if you don't, you'll start to believe it.
Right. And everything is earned, right?
Everything's earned.
If you don't do crap for the whole day, and you're gonna feel like crap, and you ask yourself why, it's because you didn't do anything.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'm 3 months into my new job at Yamava, and it was my exact 3 months 2 days ago. Well, actually 3 days ago now. It's Sunday. I started applying for positions that were higher than me, knowing well I can't get them, but I want to see those rejections.
There you go.
I want to see those rejections, so I can light a fire into me and keep going.
Yeah, and honestly, rejections are a good thing because
They are.
yeah. All right, this is gonna sound kind of funny, but I would go out with my buddy, and we'll just like, hey, let's go, talk to some girls, right? And like when you first do it, like, oh, you're so nervous, like you don't want to get rejected because it feels bad, right? But then like you get rejected, you blow it off, you get rejected again, and it's just easier and easier and easier. And if you applied that with your career, you applied that with everything in fitness, like you're trying to hit your max, but then you don't. You get rejected. Your body rejects it. All right? And yeah, it's going to suck. It's not going to feel good. But then you get to the point where it's like, okay, I didn't hit my max again, but that's all right. Because eventually, if you stop, then you won't hit your max. But if you have faith, you are just going to keep going and going and going. And that might be endless, timeless, because knowing that maybe one day you will hit your max, you're not going to stop, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be it with your success. It's going to be with it in your life. It's going to be with your career, your relationship. Like, the moment you give up, you've lost,
Yep.
right? And so the biggest thing is like, I battled. I've always wanted to stop smoking for like the longest time, and there'll be times where like I would quit every now and then, whoop de whoop, but then it's like I would always go back into it, right? But I always try. I always try not to do it again,
Right.
you know. And eventually, and I feel like now is the time. I really do. I feel like eventually I will stop smoking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I have people who smoke like around me, and I don't want it. You know, I had a dream the other night that someone passed me like a wax pen, and like just like subconsciously just having it getting past me, I'll hit it. In my dream, I hit that wax pen, and I realized that I smoked. I was mad at myself. And I woke up happy knowing that it was a dream. I was like, you know what? I'm so glad that it wasn't reality. And now I'm more aware. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't have those desires anymore, because going back to the fasting, okay, you should not be dreading on giving up something,
Right.
especially when you fast. You know, so like,
Especially if it's something bad.
okay, so like for a small example, let's say it's like you just been on your phone too much,
Yeah.
right? Like you're always on your phone, so you're gonna fast for, let's say, like 8 to 12 hours a day every day for a whole week, not being on your phone. Okay, you should not be like, I can't be on my phone. Like, you should be in the moment of joy, giving up whatever you're fasting.
Right.
I should be happy that I am not smoking, that I don't want to smoke, that I shouldn't smoke, rather than like, oh man, dude, I'm doing this fast and it sucks because I can't smoke. Like, no one cares what you're giving up,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, if you want people to see you fail, then you're in the wrong place. Everyone wants to see you grow,
Right.
right? I have never met someone who is successful bring down someone else trying to be successful, right?
Yep.
They always
Yep.
motivate the other person, because knowing that if you do that, if you are successful and you accomplish that, that is just proof that it's possible. So I'm telling you guys right now, I'm keeping it to my word. You know, I'm not gonna be smoking, and I'm gonna, you know, chase the dream that God put me in. You know what I mean? Like, He gave me this life. I'm very blessed. You know, I can't thank Him enough, because life has been, I don't want to say easy for me, but like people have struggled far more than I have. And I have to give it to God to respect Him and respect my family and to respect myself, not to sabotage what I'm supposed to be. And what am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be a leader, a motivator, and an inspirator, right? To lead you guys and to myself to success. Because everyone around me, they already see me as successful. Now, I see myself in the process of being successful.
Yeah.
But I cannot let them down. I cannot let myself down, and I can't let God down. Because He says, if you were made to be great and you are just good, that's an insult. That is sabotage, right? Because you're made to be something better, and you're not taking it to that level. You know, so when you look back at yourself and you're like, the best version of me is this,
Yeah.
then you better start being the best version of you, right? And we only got about 5 more minutes, but if there's anything else that you want to say to the people, let them know.
Yeah. 888-909-1050. That is 888-909-1050. Tell us what you're going through. Tell us, you know, how are you grateful? Why are you grateful? What is something you could do more? You know, that's something we definitely want to hear from you.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people, they say, oh, like, gratitude in the morning. Like, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm grateful for this, which is good, you know.
Yeah.
But there's another way of looking at things that I've heard recently. Wes Watson, again, he's like, he wakes up in the morning and he reflects on the things that he regret not doing the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he works out, he gets that pump, and then he attacks it. He makes it, and every day, you know, because life is just so overwhelming. There's things that you want to get done, and, you know, there's things that get in the way. But you have to control your life and your own situation, right? Me picking up that blunt or hitting that bong, that is not me controlling my life. That is honestly the little devil on the side of me saying, oh, you know, do that. Because my mind is stressing now. Like, I'm awake. I'm like, dude, like, I got so much going on. Like, you know, I got a lot of pressure on me, blah, blah. And your body wants to just be comfortable.
Yep.
But being stagnant, all right, look, life is like the stock market, like the exchange, right? So there's only two ways in life. You can go up or down.
Yeah.
You can live like a stable life for a little bit, but it's not going to be forever.
No.
So when you can grind your butt off and become successful and do all this stuff and feel good, and then you plateau, and then you're leveled out, right? You're comfortable. But once that stops, once you're comfortable, and if you stay comfortable and you don't progress, guess what? Your life is going to start going down.
Yeah.
So you always got to continue climbing, but don't forget to stop and smell the roses. You know, people say, like, Sam, like, you think too much in the future. And that is so true. And you know what? If today is today, then work on today. Because tomorrow, that's tomorrow. You worry about that tomorrow. You know what I mean? And, like, I overwhelm myself because I'm like, this whole month, I got so much to do. And I look at it at a bigger span of things. But realistically, if you just take it day by day, you know, and you can, honestly, I'm like religious. So like when I go through my vices and I'm trying to stop, I just ask God for strength. And that's me just telling my conscience that I don't want this. And it helps. It really does. Just tell yourself, instead of saying, okay, you get a salad, blah, 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 you're at dinner, and then dessert comes along, right?
Yeah.
And instead of saying, oh, I can't have that slice of cheesecake, that's you like trying to force yourself. Instead of saying I can't, say I don't want that slice of cheesecake.
Yeah.
Because
different
that's
vocabulary.
You're literally programming your brain, putting it into your own thoughts and words, saying I don't want that. So now your body's saying, oh, I don't want it, rather than I can't have that, because that's resistance. And no one that's like saying, hey, don't touch this. You're going to want to touch it, you know? So we're going to close up.
Real quick, I was
for it.
going to say, there's a motivator that I follow. His name's David Goggins. He used to be a nobody. You're right. He used to be a plumber. He hated his life. He used to sit in his work van for hours and cry. And then he finally said, you know what? I'm going to go and be a Navy SEAL. So he worked out for a month, became a Navy SEAL.
There you guys go.
David Goggins on Instagram. You should look him up.
Hey, honestly, listen to your conscience. Your conscience is going to lead you to success. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful Sunday.